I'm Brian Avery and thank you for coming back to the first episode of our second season. It's 2022. It is the 26th, a Saturday in March, 26th of March 2022. As you can see, it's a glorious sunny day. It's about 17 degrees centigrade, 63 degrees in Fahrenheit terms, and it's a slight breeze here as well. So today we're going to do our first inspection, and I want you guys to come along and see what our queen and her lovely daughters, and maybe there might be one or two sons, but probably a bit too early in the season for that, in that hive there. Now we're going to go next door and have a look, but it's a glorious day. What I want to tell you about what is the objective of today's session. So first of all, I want to check if there's eggs. I'm not going to be too fussed if I see the queen or not. It's about, is she actually laying? It's been warm for a few days. They have been definitely bringing in pollen. We've got quite a lot of fruit trees around here, whether it's on allotments or just in the hedgerows. We've also got lots of trees beginning to sort of bud out as well. So I can see pollen coming in with the bees, and I know they are bringing in a bit of nectar as well. So that will hopefully start simulating, well, it won't be simulating, it will actually be the beginnings of a little flow at this time of year, and that will hopefully have stimulated already the queen. And we'll also do a couple of quick close-ups before we dive into the hive, so you can also see a couple of things around the apiary as well. So other than looking for whether there's any eggs and is there a queen in there, to see if it's queen right, is actually just having a check to see their general health. Anything else that's standing out, that's issues of a lot of dead bees, I don't believe there will be, but we'll just check all of that. The other key thing is stores. I mentioned that they are bringing in some nectar right now. Absolutely fine, but I have put some fondant on, which you will see just now, but do I need to put any sort of 2-in-1 solution, sugar solution on there? Let's go and have a look at that. I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of what's happened over the winter here. As I said, it's now towards the end of March. We are sort of got lovely weather at the moment. It's been a relatively mild, not too wet winter. We have had some really cold spells, well, at least for the UK, and we've had some of the fastest winds and storms that we've had for about over 20 years. But these colonies and hives fared well. You can see now that they are definitely flying, but that shouldn't be unexpected. And as you can see underneath there, I've been actually monitoring the hives throughout winter with, as you can see there, the broodminder scales. If you want to know more about that, please do go have a look, and I will put a link at the end to the videos about broodminder. But if I zoom in a bit more, what you will see is that the bees are definitely coming in with some pollen. But it's really nice and busy. I'm going to zoom in a bit more. You can see how beautiful those ladies are. They look healthy, they sound wonderful. I haven't got my veil on, I've got my hands here, no gloves, but you can see they're not at all intimidated at this point. But they are looking really lovely. Okay, before we sort of open up and actually do the inspection, let's just open up the hive and have a look at what we've done and how it's actually sort of semi-overwintered. I have already taken out the big, thick 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters, 2 inches of PIR boards, which are just providing the insulation over the winter. This, as you can see, Welsh cheese. I would highly recommend their cheese, which we were given for Christmas by some friends in North Wales. And what we also had is some potato sacks. Now I'm going to move and just peel these back for the moment, because this is the first hive that we're doing. As you can see, that's where the flow hive frames will go. And just last week, I actually just had a quick peek, and I put some fondant on there. As you can see, 2.5 kilograms of fondant. We'll take that off just now, but just first sight, you can see there, the bees have done some really good, strong growth. This is what I suspect. I don't think it'll be long until we might be able to split this. And you can see there's some burr comb that they're doing on the top of the crown board. But let's have it open up and have a proper look. First of all, I could just lift up leave that on and just take the whole crown board, but I do want to make sure that the queen is not underneath there. So I'm just going to lift up this, and they are definitely eating that, and just show you what they've been doing. And that's just 1 week that they are doing that. So I'm going to put that on the side there, so they won't fly off, and I will put that back probably at the end of this. You can see here I've got the 2 brood minder sensors. I actually put 2 in because I haven't got bees in the other colonies. So normally I will split that up. So first cracking of there's a bit of propolis there that they've stuck it down on. Leave that lid. And let's make sure the queen isn't there. And I will take this away. Well, I can say we definitely got a queen right. I can show you there's actually larvae in there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to keep those on there, and I will take all of these off, but it does look like we might be able to split this very soon. But I can't, just checking. Our queen is a 2021 queen. She does have a white spot, but I don't see anything on there at this point. Just going to put that there at the entrance, so no queen on the crown board, which I would hope to do. Let me just remove this. There. So these sensors are the TH sensors by Broodminder. As I said, watch the other video. So they've been tracking the whole winter. So even though I haven't been able to get in the bees, in the beehives, I have at least been able to have a look at what's been going in by looking at the sensors. Now before I do that, just can't see any queen on top because I do want to scrape this burr comb off. There is quite a bit of sort of comb there that has been broken, exposing the brood, which is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, can't really do much more about it at this point. I don't know, maybe I should have come in and inspected a little bit earlier, but we haven't really had a good spell of warm weather, and I give me the confidence to say let's do that. I don't necessarily, go back to our ethos, wish to disturb the bees too much. Obviously, also I don't really want to be here trying to sort of cut away brood that the queen and the workers have worked rather tirelessly to actually look after. So I'm going to get rid of it, all of this burr comb. Unfortunately, this larva will pass away and die. We can't really do much about that. I will try and do what I can as far as making it a healthy colony, and allowing it to have some more space if it needs it. But if they're doing burr comb like this, we can see here, this is all new burr comb there, but that's got nothing in, so is this split here. So just do that, leave a bit more, go down ladies. So see, they don't really like that, and keep your heads down because I've got to do a little bit, tidy up some of this frames. So that's that one done. I will remove the burr that is actually on the crown board a bit later. I will put that in front of the colony there so that the workers can leave that. Hopefully I just say, okay, it's not in the colony. And so they're going to abandon it, but at least they won't be flying into where I'm working. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got 11 frames in here. I'm going to start at the entrance and work backwards normally, but because of this being the hive that it is, which means I can actually start from the back. So just remove the divider. See there, no queen on there. Just move that along. The advantage of the long hive system is you can just move the frames back, work your way back, and then put them back all in the same direction. So I don't have to have anything outside, just in case I do miss the queen, she won't be caught up. So let's look at the first frame of 2022. So, well, what I will say is plenty of stores, and they are putting nectar into this, but they are still got room to do some building. So that was the outside frame. You can see still got some plastic foundation, or plastic wax coated plastic foundation, and here, if I step back here, you can also see plenty of stores all the way around here. They are putting nectar in here, but there's no larva or anything in here, so probably the queen hasn't got to this point as yet. So there is room there for them to do some expanding of the frames, and therefore honey, but also for stores, but also for brood. But this again, Wow, these ladies have been doing well. They haven't touched any of this. Is completely solid, both sides, no queen, solid capped stores. Now that will be a mixture of some syrup from the autumn, but if that's on the outside, let's see how much space we have on the centre, which is where the colony would probably stay. And I'll have to admit, during the winter I did come in here on relative warm days, because by opening up with this hide hive with the clear crown board, I'm not actually exposing the bees themselves to the cold. So I was able to come in on some nice days, open up the roof and just have a peek in. I did give him a lot of fondant in February, in January, so as well, so just put it on top, just as we saw just now, just on top of the crown board, so therefore it wasn't really getting into or disturbing them. They went through that rather quickly. By that I mean within a couple of weeks, that fondant was gone, and I can see, oh lovely, we've got some pollen in here. So if you can see there, you can see that lovely pollen, bright yellow. Well, I hope you've sort of found that a rather interesting sort of first inspection. I've enjoyed it. A few things that obviously came out, nothing of too much significance that we have to be concerned about. Just let the bees do what they naturally do. But one of the things I thought I'd just give you a little hit, a teaser I suppose I can call it, about what are we planning to do this year. I mentioned that this is our second year. So it was on the 17th of July 2021 last year that we've got our bees, and we, in our home apiary here in Hertfordshire, we've finally started being beekeepers. We went through the first season, we built up the colony on this side, on the right hand side as I'm looking at it there, and that's now, as we can see, just as we've just seen now, has been doing very well through the winter. It looks like it's going to be a nice strong colony. I've got on the other side of the colony, for those who've been following this channel, it's a double hive, so 2 colonies in a single hive. So on the other other side is empty, and the far hive is also empty. So my plan this year is to split this hive, first of all, to have both sides of the double flow hive actually full. Secondly, then, is to go and build up both colonies, and then from that hopefully be able to do one further split before the end of the year and put it into the far hive. And if you, just as a reminder, the far small long hive, as I call it, is just a single colony, and that one will be I'm using for comb, and I'm planning to use that for comb honey, not for extracting. I don't want to have extractors unless I need to. It's more about comb honey there, and the runny liquid and crystallized honey will be coming out of the flow frames. So that goes to another hint. Again, these are flow hives of this first double colony. So I'm going to be using some flow frames this season. So hopefully we'll build the colonies up sufficiently to be able to start producing some honey. We'll introduce the flow hives. I'll do some special episodes specifically around that. But as we go through, we will have a lovely sort of time of learning together, seeing what does or doesn't work. I've got a little twist on the flow hives side as well, so we'll go through that and we'll have a look. And I'd love to know your feedback, guys. Anybody on there who wants to sort of give me some feedback, what I'm doing right, wrong, suggest something new, give it all, just do it in the way it's meant, you know, constructive criticism, and we'll sort of learn together. Then the final thing is, hopefully at some point, if you saw the last video, which I posted actually in December, but it was actually earlier in the year, I actually took a little bit of honey out of, well, half of one side of a frame last year, just so that our family could try a little bit of honey. That jar is nearly gone, but we have been eking it out. But what we will hopefully have this year is a lot more honey that we'll be able to share with friends, neighbours, and also maybe sell a few to those who are interested. Well, thank you for us. Do follow this channel for the rest of the season and beyond, and hopefully we'll all find something interesting. So that's me, Brian Avery. Do tick the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave comments. One other little thing that you might see, which I haven't mentioned so far, we actually got a golden retriever puppy 6 months ago yesterday. So you might see her in some of the videos going forward, and her name's Kayla. Cheerio, bye.